What I'm going to share with you is just some of the things that has been working for me as I go through the process of going from my non-disciplined, non-consistent era into being the most disciplined, consistent version of myself. This is our journey. It's a process, so it's not perfect. We still have a lot to learn, but these are just things that I've realized work wonders for me. The first thing I would say that's helping me be more consistent and more disciplined is connecting whatever it is I'm trying to achieve to the vision I have for my life. When we do things just for the sake of doing them, there's no bigger motivation driving that beyond, oh, it's just something I feel like I need to change. We really would struggle to be consistent. If creating YouTube videos is something I'm just doing for the sake of doing, there's no bigger vision behind it, I really would struggle with being consistent. And so the first thing for me is making sure that whatever it is I'm struggling to be consistent at, that I define what the bigger vision behind that thing is. Why exactly is creating content important? Think about the areas where you really struggle with being disciplined, with being consistent. What exactly is driving you to show up in those areas? So that's the first thing for me. Like, why does it matter to you that you show up and you're consistent and you're disciplined? This thought comes in mostly like when I'm really struggling to do the thing. When I don't feel like doing the thing, I start to think of what is my big why behind this task. And that it sets the foundation to drive me back into action. The second thing that's helping me stay disciplined and stay consistent is the power of small. Often when I would think about what I need to do before, I would have like this huge to-do list. And the more I think about, I have to do this, I have to do that, and there's 1,000 things I need to do, the less likely I am to show up and keep doing that thing. Because all I'm thinking about in my head is like all the things that I have to do. So I do it today, but tomorrow I'm like, oh, I'm so exhausted. I don't want to keep doing this. And that's it. However, in the days when I have felt like I don't want to show up, I don't want to do this, what has really given me the energy to show up is just say, you know what, even if I shoot 1 video, that's enough. If I shoot 5 videos today, that's enough. If I shoot 2 videos today, that's enough, right? It's just redefining how I think about showing up at my 100%. Before, I used to think that showing up at my 100% is like I have to be like on and like deliver like high level results and like kill it with all the to-dos. But that's not the reality of what 100% looks like when you're showing up. Showing up at 100% can pretty much just look like doing what you can do where you're at with what you have in that time, in that minute. If all you have is 5 minutes to do something and really that's like all you can give it. That's still you being consistent. That's still you showing up. The third thing is really having a structure, a routine for like how I want to show up and do something. For example, with my YouTube videos, Sundays is for shooting YouTube videos. Saturdays is for doing X. Mondays is for doing this. So that structure, it's like I'm building a system that I can take action without thinking. I just know that on Sundays I'm going to shoot content. It's on my to-do list for those days. There's a system, there's a structure, and I continue to tweak and change the system based on like the results I'm getting, what's working for me, what's not working for me. The system continues to evolve. The next thing I would mention is surrounding myself with people who are also working towards their own goals. Having friends, family members who have their own goals that they're pursuing, it just kind of motivates you to get off your ass, okay? Because if you call your friend and your friend is like, oh, she's working on this ebook that she wants to release or this new class she's taking, you would want to get your act together too. Because it's like, okay, I can't be the only one that is not being productive. Your friends are going to ask you, hey, about this goal that you were working on, what's going on with it? How come you're not working on your goal? The point I'm trying to make is just like, surround yourself with people who are also working towards their dreams, their goals. Whether that looks like an accountability group that you join, or that looks like challenges that you join, or that looks like people that you follow on social media, just make sure that you're following people who are on the same wavelength, at least when it comes to having goals and visions for their life. Because if you're following people like that and you're absorbing their content in those conversations and talking about their goals, at some point you're going to be influenced into doing the things that you know you need to do to achieve the goals you want to achieve. The next thing I would say is being effing tired of playing small. I think everyone comes to a point in their journey where they're just like, I'm tired of playing small. When I look at where I am right now in certain areas of my life and where I want to go, I realize that the common denominator is that I am not consistent, I'm not disciplined. A lot of the people who started doing the things that I want to see results in have stayed consistent with those things over time and have seen major results. Me, on the other hand, I've been very wishy-washy. I've been very on and off. And for me, I'm just tired. I'm tired of not seeing the results that I want to because I'm not able to just show up and do the work even when I don't feel like it. Think about where you are and think about where you could have been at this time if you have been consistent with the goals that you set for yourself last year. Just think about that for a second. Even if it's like a weight loss goal, if you are just consistent for 12 months, for 6 months, for 3 months, how much farther would you have been by now? And are you not tired of self-sabotaging your own ability to create success? I'm tired of keeping myself playing small because I'm not able to be consistent, because I'm not able to be disciplined. I've been on this side of not showing up and I know what that looks like. The next thing I would mention is empower myself with content that just like energizes me to keep going. I love content from All Nightingale. I listen to the Slay Girl Slay podcast. I listen to the Life Coach School. I also follow like creators like Aaliyah's Face. I really like, I think she's super cool. I don't necessarily want to be like an influencer in that way. Not really. But I just love her life. I love the life that she's created for herself in certain areas. So I follow people that I admire who are doing bits and pieces of things that I want to do, whether it's entrepreneurs, whether it's creators, whether it's influencers. The information that I get from All Nightingale's content every single day, it empowers me to get my ass up and go and do the things I need to do. Like, there's no way you will listen to All Nightingale's video or watch Leila Homoz's videos and you will not get your ass up and go do shit. The next thing I would mention is connecting my actions to the woman I want to become. Like, one thing I'm learning how to do now is ask myself, what would the woman I want to become do? How will she show up in this situation? Mapping my actions in that direction of the person I want to be, not of the person I am today, not of what's going to make me comfortable today, but of the person I want to be. I'm not yet perfect at doing this, but every time I do this, it just flips the way I think about the action that I need to take. Imagine the highest version of yourself. What do they do for a living? And if you haven't done this yet, I actually implore you to do that. Think about where you want to be 10 years from now and just picture that version of yourself. What are their habits like? What are their thoughts, mindsets, beliefs? What are those things? And then let that be what guides your action and what you decide to do on a daily basis. The next thing I'll mention is something that I just learned recently, and I think it blew my mind, to be honest. When I think about why I really struggle to be consistent, to be disciplined, there's a huge connection to a lack of emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence in not really understanding the emotions that I'm feeling in the middle of something, right? Whether that emotion is anger or frustration, the emotions that trigger me to not take the action that I want to take. It could be fear, it could be anxiety, it could be anger. There are emotions that trigger me to behave the opposite of the person that I want to behave like. For example, let's say I have an argument with my husband. An emotion that could come out of that is frustration. And instead of feeling the emotion, I would go and numb it with a snack. Instead of just naming the emotion I'm feeling and accepting that emotion and feeling it, I would turn to food and turn to snack as a way to manage. And that pushes me off the path of discipline and consistency when it comes to achieving my weight loss goals. I'm not very comfortable just sitting in my emotions. And that's why I end up just, I'm not going to do the thing. I'm just going to do what's more comfortable versus taking time to just manage my emotions, feel the emotions, let them just pass through. I have not done that job, and that's what I'm doing now. Following that, the next thing that's really helping me be consistent is using something called the 5-second rule. And this was created by Mel Robbins. Say, for example, I'm in bed, I don't want to get up, I'm really struggling. And this is a habit, something I've done for years. I would just open my phone and I'll be like, okay, you know what? Once is 11 o'clock. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to go and do the thing. And this has been so helpful for me. It's just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And once that time comes, I don't think of anything else. I just get out of bed and go do the thing. I honestly think if this is not something you've heard before, there's so many videos on YouTube that have to do with the 5-second rule. I'm going to build on that for the next point is procrastinating intentionally. I feel like this is even one of the big things for me. If I'm really struggling to do something, I would decide to procrastinate intentionally on the thing. Say I woke up today and I just was struggling to shoot my video or do my makeup. I would decide to say, okay, you know what? It's 9 a.m. I'm going to procrastinate till 11 a.m. I want to say 11 a.m. I will go do the thing. A lot of the time, this has helped me because then I'm spending my time procrastinating. Just at the back of my head, I know 11, I have to get up and go and do the thing. Somehow that works for me. It doesn't have to work for everybody, but personally, it works for me. The last thing I would mention is really looking into why you're even doing this. Is this something that you enjoy doing? I personally know that I don't always enjoy the makeup part of like shooting my videos, but when I'm done doing the makeup, I like how I look. And I also enjoy recording videos now. I'm really diving back into that version of me that enjoyed them. So the point I'm trying to make is I know that I don't like doing my makeup all the time because it could take a little bit of a while, but I love how I look after. So I'm connecting my emotions to the aspect of things that I enjoy and like doing more of those things. I love recording videos. That's something I enjoy and it's connected to the goal that I have. Are you doing a lot of things that you enjoy or just things that you really don't like doing? There would be times in our lives where we would have to do things that we don't enjoy as much. And that's okay. That's part of being a grown-up. However, if a big goal that you're pursuing is not something that gives you joy in any way, it'll be very difficult to show up and do the thing. If the idea of losing weight doesn't bring me joy, it'll be very difficult for me to show up and like do the work to lose weight. I personally know I don't want to be skinny. So if someone was like, okay, the goal is for you to weigh 55 pounds, I would be like, no, that is not my goal. And if that is something I was working towards because, oh, that's what everybody calls pretty in America, I would be frustrated because I don't want to be 55 pounds. I don't want to be skinny. I want to be slim thick. That goal excites me. That's different. So that's why I'm like, whatever goals you have, consider making it something that you actually care about. If you don't care about it, don't start to push it. Don't start to make it a thing. Don't pursue goals just for the sake of pursuing them or because everybody is an influencer now. Oh, now you have to be an influencer. Because all your friends are creators, now you have to be a creator. Oh, because so and so person moved countries, now you have to move countries. You will be frustrated. Instead, tie your goals to things that bring you joy. It's a lot more easier for me to sit down here and shoot this video, to edit videos, even though I don't always enjoy editing videos, because I genuinely enjoy helping other people through my own stories. It excites me. I feel like it's my life's purpose, right? So it's just so much easier for me to do the things that I don't like because the goal itself and the outcome of it brings me joy. The last thing I would mention is connecting your emotions to how you would feel when you have done the thing. Picture the thing that you are avoiding doing. Now, picture yourself when you have done it. How exactly will you feel? When we're procrastinating, avoiding something, or not doing something, not being disciplined and consistent, it's because we're just thinking of the pain that would come out of doing that thing, the pain that will come out of sitting down to write the book or shoot the video or go to the gym. Whatever it is that you're avoiding doing, we are avoiding the pain of it. But when you start to actually think of the outcome that you want, when you start to think of, okay, I want to like be a New York Times bestseller, and you start to picture yourself, you know, living the life of a New York Times bestseller, it's more likely that you start to feel good about doing the thing that you want to do. On top of that, if after you picture yourself being a New York Times bestseller, you picture yourself writing the book, actually see yourself in your mind doing the writing, you are more likely to get up and do the thing. Sometimes when we're visualizing and manifesting and all of that good stuff, we don't think about the process, about the pain that would go into us doing the work to achieve the goals that we want to achieve. Try doing that more often. As you're visualizing the outcome and it's wonderful, also visualize yourself doing the work that is uncomfortable, showing up, being consistent, sitting at the desk, writing the book, sitting down, recording the video. The more you visualize those things, you are sending a message to your brain that it's not just about the good aspect of the outcome. There is still the work that would have to be done to create the result that you want to create. So it's kind of a signal that you are sending to your brain, okay? Because if you just focus on the outcome, then you're just thinking about the pleasure of the situation. And to be honest, when it comes to goals and like working hard to achieve certain things, it's not always pleasurable. I want to have a very happy marriage, but to be honest, the process of creating that is not always pleasurable. There's, communications, misunderstandings, things like that. And you have to have the patience through those things. So if you're not in your mind also visualizing yourself in those moments where it's uncomfortable and seeing yourself just navigate through that process, you are only focusing on one aspect, the pleasure aspect. Doing this particular exercise will just prep your mind for you to also like feel stronger mentally to tackle those periods of discomfort. And finally, changing the story that you're telling yourself about what is happening. For the longest time, I would say things like starting should be easy. No, it should not be easy. If it was easy, every single person would do it. If having a happy marriage was easy, every single person would have one. If being fit and in shape was easy, every single person would have it. It's not easy. So because I was thinking starting should be easy, when I would face severe discomfort, my first reaction to it would be to quit the thing, to run away from the thing. But it doesn't work that way. Big goals come with big challenges. They come with big responsibilities. They come with big changes. And those are things I wasn't prepping my mind for. I was just focusing on, oh my gosh, why is this so hard? It should be easy. I wasn't building resilience with this thinking. So change the story that you're telling yourself about discomfort. Change the story that you're telling yourself about achieving the goal that you need to achieve. Maybe you've been working towards this thing for 6 months, a year, 2 years, and you still haven't seen the result. All things being equal, sometimes it takes time. And you just changing the story from, oh my gosh, this is not happening yet, to I'm learning so much, I'm growing so much through this process. The things I'm learning would equip me to do better, to manage my results better. Like just changing that story empowers you to keep going. So ask yourself, what is the story you're telling yourself about the thing that you are struggling with? What is the perspective you're holding about the thing that you really are not being disciplined or consistent with? And is that perspective empowering you to be as disciplined, as consistent as you think you need to be? If not, that's something we need to change. So now I don't tell myself starting should be easier anymore. No, I tell myself big goals are going to come with big challenges and big responsibilities. I tell myself, if I want to be in the 1%, I need to level up my resilience and level up my ability to face hard situations. That's something that I need to learn. Finally, is changing my definition of consistency. For a lot of people think consistency it looks like this. It's like you never fall off, you keep going, you keep showing up. However, consistency is built as you continue to show up regardless of the situation, regardless of the mistakes that you make. So let's say I show up today, tomorrow, next tomorrow, and then I fall off. It's asking myself, okay, why did I fall off? What was the trigger? Learning from that, tweaking my process, and then getting back up and continuing again. This time with a determination to do better. As long as you're determined, you have the will to keep being consistent, and you're getting off your behind and showing up, you're being consistent. You're literally being consistent. That's the definition of consistency for me. So instead of beating yourself up, oh my gosh, I'm always falling off, it's time to say, well, I fell off yesterday, that's fine. Today is a new day. I'm going to pick right up from where I stopped, from where I fell off, and keep going and keep doing better. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up. And if you really love content around personal development and personal finance, please subscribe. You would love the content that I'm sharing on here. Okay, thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.